guys, and welcome to my review of Haikyuu chapter 262 and 263. If you're wondering why there was no video last time, it was just like I was going on holiday that day, and I just basically in the morning I did 2 videos very quickly, and then I realized I had no time left in the day, so I was just like, okay, we can wait with the review of Haikyuu and Boku no Hero to next week. So I'm sorry I didn't warn you. I thought I had more time, but I like overslept by half an hour, and it was just like, it'll work out somehow. So yeah, that's why. But I like these 2 chapters. Tanaka focus, that's what we've been talking about, what happened. So last time was the flashback, and this time was like more match and more getting into Tanaka's head. And I want to talk very specifically about the one thing that Tanaka mentioned, about how he, like, twice a year or once every 6 months or whatever he said, he goes into not a slump, but he gets into the like the state of mind where he just thinks, I am very mediocre because I am not the best at this and I am not the best at that, and usually that doesn't bother me because while I'm not a genius at anything, I'm still fine, I'm good. And it's just so interesting because he has like this moment where you think that this is the obvious moment where you show weakness, and he just says, I have no time to be looking down, and he just has this intense fire in his eyes, and it's just amazing because we all know that Tanaka is literally the god of having great mentality. So it's like when he when Tsukishima sets the ball to Asahi, and you see like obviously Tanaka is annoyed that the ball didn't get to him because he was ready for it, and the people in the stands even were like, yes, it's gonna go to Tanaka because that's the only possible direction the ball could go in. And then it doesn't, and everyone's like kind of disappointed, and I was kind of disappointed because I was like, okay, what's that gonna do to Tanaka that he missed that set point, and now he's not even getting tossed to when it's like a prime moment for him to get the ball. That would be like, for me, that would just like destroy me. I would already be destroyed at this point. I do not have like the mentality to keep up with shit like that. But Tanaka's strong, and he just keeps yelling left. Like, give the ball to me, I can do it, and if you don't give it to me, I'll just keep saying that I'm open and available, and I will always fight. Because he doesn't give up. And I like that, like, that's what this chapter's about. Like, it's Tanaka's pride. That's basically what the chapter should have been called. And I think that's really good. I also really like the little moment with Hinata where you think again that Tanaka's like crumbling or whatever, and he probably isn't. Like, he's probably like a little bit in doubt, but he's probably like in the process of picking himself back up. And you just have Hinata going over to him being like, oh, it's so cool how you sit at Tsukishima in that blog, like, and then you have him saying like, oh, Inarasaki's blogger said just like that to say it's so cool that you could like fight against them and stuff like that. And it's so nice also with you had Tsukishima being like, it's those words just come so easily to him, and Tanaka's quick to accept the compliments because he's also quick to give the compliments, because both Tanaka and Hinata, and of course a lot of the Karasuno people, but for them especially, when they give compliments, they don't have like any ulterior motive. They don't give the compliments when they are needed, because you have someone like Tsuki, when he says like something like a compliment, usually when he gives compliments it's to Yamaguchi, he'll say them because whatever, like there's a reason that he'll say them. Or in Daichi's case, he usually uses compliments to like motivate people when he thinks that they're doing bad, or when he thinks that he needs to get them fired up. Kageyama does the same. I think a lot of the Karasuno people are like that. When they feel like a player is getting down or a teammate is getting down, they're like, oh, but compliment. Tanaka and Hinata and Nishinoya to some extent are the people where when they see something cool, they feel the need to call it out immediately. And it's not like the other people don't do that. Like, they'll be like, okay, that was really good and stuff like that. But Tanaka and Hinata will say that with such enthusiasm that it's like, when they give you a compliment, you have no choice but to accept that compliment, because you know they're honest and they're just very earnest in giving you that compliment. So it probably helped Tanaka pick himself up a little quicker. but I do think it would have happened regardless because it's Tanaka, and I have complete faith in his strong mentality, and I just think it's really cool to see it because we've always seen that he has a strong mentality, but it's never been like a big focus point. What the heck is happening here? um, so yeah, I really like that, and I also like the little comment that I forgot who made that comment. I think it was Chikara who said it. That Tanaka was the one second year who always stayed. Like, we had the three second years, so obviously they quit for like a couple weeks when Ukai-san came back a year ago, and you had Nishinoya who didn't come back for a month because of the thing with Asahi, and Tanaka's been there through all of it. He's the one second year who always stayed no matter what. And of course that does wonders for him as well. Like, he has the strong mentality, like nothing gets him down. Maybe for a second it will, but not for more than that. Not for more than a second. 2 seconds, never. He's too strong for that. And it's really cool. I know Tanaka is a lot of people's favorite character, and that's completely understandable. Like, he's so cool. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, why is Tanaka not like further up my favorite list? And he probably is somewhere in my heart. I just can't make myself admit it for some reason. But honestly, Tanaka is so cool. And I really did like also another thing with the chapter, how you have the audience, because usually when we see a match, people often know a lot of the Karasuno players. Like, they'll have the little number 10. They never know Hinata's name. Like, Hinata's the one name they never know, but that's like kind of a running gag because he's new. But they know Asahi, they know Kageyama, they know Nishinoya. But they don't know Tanaka, which is like super interesting because Tanaka is still like one of their central players, and the people in Karasuno knows how valuable Tanaka is. Even if he hasn't proven himself in this particular match, everyone knows that Tanaka is like the next ace. When Asahi and the third years eventually do retire, because their year will literally come to an end after this tournament, Tanaka will be their ace. There's no doubt about that. And he will have earned it through and through. He'll have earned it because he is literally that good. And it's also very interesting how in this chapter Tanaka says that he's not a genius at anything, which I think is like kind of a misconception with him, because he's actually, you remember back in, I don't even remember what match that was. It's like back in season 1 or whatever. Tanaka said that sometimes when he's like in good condition, he can see like everything in slow motion, just like Hinata can. And it's mostly been a focus point for Hinata when he can see stuff in slow motion, because he's like a true genius, so he can do that a lot of the time. But Tanaka said that when he feels like in good shape, he can see everything like a split second just feel like much longer, and he can see where he needs to spike the ball to get that safe point. And I just generally think that Tanaka is actually better than he might think, because he might not be a genius in the same way that maybe Asahi is, because he has that raw strength and height and muscle and whatever, and the same way that Hinata and Nishinoya have their athleticism and just like their feel for the sport, if that makes any sense. But I still think Tanaka is like, he's better than average, and whether that's just through extreme hard work and just like 1% talent, I don't really care. He's definitely a mediocre, as he says in this chapter. He's definitely well above average, especially for like his age and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I really appreciated this chapter and the previous one as well. I really liked, I felt a little weird last chapter because you had like the Tanaka with hair. I thought that was so weird. But yeah, it was really nice last chapter, just learning more about him and his experience coming to Karasuno. Especially because when he came, it was like the current third years were like the ones who worked hard. But the club wasn't like anything like it is now. Because now the third years are like not ruling it, but they're like driving it or whatever. I don't know how to say that. But they're the ones like moving it forward and making it grow, unlike the previous third years. So yeah, I really like seeing it from Tanaka's perspective, because we've seen a lot of like this the year that Tanaka joined, like we've seen like snippets of that from the third year's perspective, when we had like their flashback of how they changed the club from what it was when they first joined to what it is now, and like their journey through that, but we've never seen it from the second year's perspective. So I thought it was super insightful to get Tanaka's point of view there, even if it wasn't like a lot, it was still like something that I thought was super interesting, because while I'm not super interested in like Karasuno's backstory and stuff like that, I'm still interested in seeing like what got the characters where they are, and just to see like the third years in the background and just Tanaka in general. So that was really cool. But I'm gonna stop talking now, because this review is now more than 10 minutes, and I've been trying to keep my Haikyuu reviews under 10 minutes, like around the 5 to 8 minute mark, but I guess with 2 chapters that was just kind of impossible, because I haven't been able to get my Haikyuu geek out for like 2 weeks. I don't have any friends who read the Haikyuu manga, so this is the only time where I really get to geek out about it when the anime is on break. So until season 4 comes out, I don't really have anyone to talk Haikyuu with. So yeah, but I'm gonna stop talking now. No, I don't have any announcements. I was like, no, I have plans. I don't have any plans for Haikyuu. I'm just gonna keep the reviews coming. If you follow One Piece, I guess you know that I do the character analysis things. I want to do one for Tsukishima. He's not the next guy on my list, but my 5th analysis will be for Tsukishima, I believe. Haven't gotten around to write it yet, but I'm definitely very, very interested in doing so. I hope I can kind of match it up to if we get some more Tsukishima, but if not, I can do it like as a kind of for Tsuki fans who can't get enough of him and want something, even though he isn't featured in the manga a lot. Like, he still is, obviously, but not as a focused character like in this arc with Tanaka. So yeah, that's just a little something I guess to look forward to in a few coming months. I'm not gonna promise anything, because whenever I promise that something will be up, I completely miss that deadline by like months, because my schedule is just, yeah, too crazy at the moment. So yeah, you can leave a like if you liked anything that I had to say, even though I rambled by the end and the beginning, I guess. You can leave a comment of what you thought of these 2 chapters and just Tanaka in this arc, and what you think of Tanaka's characters. Is he your favorite, or is he in your favorite group of characters, or whatever? Just give me your Tanaka thoughts, because the last 2 comments we've been talking a lot about where we think Karasuno will place, and just more theories going forward. But now I want I want your opinions on like Tanaka as a character, and just like where the story is right now, rather than what you think will happen in the future. So yeah, leave those comments, and you can subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, bye.